Yeah, it's visible.
All right, great. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are from. It's nice to see you all. If you can write on the chat where you are from, your city or your country, that would be great to see how many people I have from different countries. So, and to introduce myself, today I'm going to talk about Be Skilled, Be Digital. It's a road to become a next entrepreneur. So I'm going to describe you briefly how you are going to attempt to become a next entrepreneur. So this is not like a full 100% guide, but this is like a simple and simplified version how you can take the initiative today so that you can become something tomorrow. And this is what I learned from my journey. And I hope if I share my journey with you and you are going to become the next entrepreneur in your region and within your friend circle. Um, I'm going to start right now. It's 9:59. So let's start with the introduction. So my name is Mohammed Mustafa, and I'm from Qatar, and I'm living in Netherlands currently to for continue my higher education. I'm studying international business. Uh, So in Netherlands, I'm the president of International Business Committee. It's a student organization and a non-profit organization uh, based in Leeuwarden in Amsterdam. So last year I was representing as the head of as the head of research and development, and this year I'll be representing as the president. Next, I'm the vice president of public relationship for the Toastmasters Club Area 1 Division G, District 59. If you all are familiar with the Toastmasters, it's an international club where there is a lot of speech competitions going on, humorous competitions going on, and they have more than 350,000 members all over the world or even more. So my area is the Area 1 and District 59 in Leeuwarden, and I'm also the head of marketing and communication for Current Affairs Forum. It's also an student organization based in Netherlands, in Amsterdam. So this is basically we do some debate, MUN conferences, and we also invite different stakeholders, different mayors to attend our meetings, and we discuss about the global affairs going on. And we have monthly meeting every month. And last but not least, I'm the head of global communication for MN Impact International. So if you see all the social media posts, all the designing, the promotions, all are under me. And I'm also looking after the press team for the global summit. So all the interviews being done to you all and all the articles being written are also my responsibility to publish them in the website. Moving further, the extracurricular activities introduction. So I was always passionate about extracurricular activities beside my education. So I started with volunteering back in 2004. And so the first company I volunteered was back in Bangladesh. We volunteered for different underprivileged students to collect some money and also collect some clothing and other materials so that we can distribute them to the poor people. And back in Qatar, I volunteer with the Youth Company. It's a company based in Canada and Qatar. We had sponsors like such as Vodafone, Ooredoo, and then we had Chevrolet car, the American car company. So we worked 1 month, one whole month to collect money, and we went to different hospitals, the child hospitals, and elderly home, and we distributed different foods and materials to different people and to different countries as well. And I was also a teacher for Reach Out to Asia, the technical teacher. Reach Out to Asia is an organization based in Qatar, and it is owned by the sister of Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, the King of Qatar. So I'm a technical teacher there. So we go to different places where we have migrant workers working in Qatar. So we teach them how to use digital technology, how to use their mobile phone, smartphone, computer. How can they become digital, so that their work life and their communication life with their home becomes more easier. And the next, I volunteered with Al Shaqab. It's a member of Qatar Foundation. Qatar Foundation is owned by Sheikh Hamoza, the mother of Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, the King of Qatar. So Al Shaqab, they had some volunteering activities throughout the whole Ramadan. So we fed every day. We fed more than 1,500 people. So at the end of the Ramadan, we fed more than 100,000 people during the whole month. And I was also passionate about Qatar debate. So it's also a member of Qatar Foundation. So where we used to do a lot of English debate and learn a lot about English debate. I was a panelist for many sessions. I was a debater, and I became a debate coach as well, trained by Qatar Debate. And then I started my modern UN journey in back in 2004, 2014, and I went to different conferences as a delegate, as a chairperson, president, and I'm also now a MUN director. So I attended some of the conferences such as Georgetown University, Qatar, Global Classroom International MUN in New York. In our closing ceremony, we were in the UN headquarters in the General Assembly. Uh, it was really nice to have that kind of experience. And I was also in the Hague International MUN in Qatar for my training session. And I mentored and I was moderating debate for MUN at Home, round 1 to round 5. It's an initiative of MUN Impact, you all know by now. And for my training program, I was trained as the leadership development by Georgetown University in Qatar. And I was also trained as an MUN director for Directors Training Institute by Best Delegate. And Ryan, he is the founder, co-founder of Best Delegate, who has experience of MUN more than 18 years, was my trainer. Next, moving on to the extracurricular activities, how I came up with the idea. So I won a financial competition back in 2019. So I was in South Korea with my school. We had a trip there, a business trip to check out different companies. So we went to Hyundai, biggest car company, manufacturing company in South Korea. They have a manufacturing company for producing oil as well. So Hyundai is, we went there, and when we came back, Qatar Stock Exchange, they emailed us that they are hosting a they're hosting a competition, financial competition based on stock market liquidity. So they wanted us, our school, to participate there. And just when we came back the next day in the morning, we had to attend the workshop there. And what happened in Qatar Stock Exchange, the liquidity fell from 700 million to 300 million. It's a huge drop in the liquidity, and they wanted us to find out how we can balance the liquidity and how we can improve the stock market liquidity, and also ensure the trading is lower risk and higher return for the traders. So we competed for a month, and then we won the second place in the Qatar Stock Exchange financial competition, and that gave me that encouraged me to come up with the idea of becoming a financial advocate, so that I can teach the young students how they can be well aware of financial terms, so that they can come up with their own business idea. Because uh, of this, the workshop Be Skilled Be Digital, like the road to become the next entrepreneur. So in 2014, I earned and I learned some skills. So the first skills I learned when I joined MUN is the public speaking, the research skills, the writing skills, negotiation, lobbying, and different kinds of skills. So MUN taught me different skills in 2014, and I carried them forward until in 2016 when I entered for debating. So I started MUN before, and then I started English debate in 2016. So when I joined, when the year 2016 came, I learned about English debate. I learned about different aspects of debating, and I learned about volunteering because I was full-term volunteers in 2016, as well as a volunteer teachers and volunteering for different organizations. And new skills came up, which was photography and setup idea. So as I mentioned earlier, I was working 1 month for the youth company. We had a sponsors, Chevrolet, the American car company. So I was passionate about photography, but I never had a DSLR camera. But I wanted to learn photography, and then we had 1 month event, and it was a huge exposure for me if I could have become a photographer for the whole event and the filmmaker for the whole event because we had so many good sponsors. So the event started at 7 o'clock at night, and what I did was I went to supermarket at 6 o'clock in the evening, and I bought my first camera in 2016. And straightly, without charging the camera, without doing anything, I just directly went to the venue where the event was, the orientation was, and I started filming the whole event, the first day of the event. And luckily, some of the shot was really nice, and some of the shot was not really nice because um, I was not very much familiar with the photography when I bought my first camera. But the shot that was nice, people appreciated it. So I started looking for ways I can learn my photography skills. So I found this website called Show Academy. It's based in Ireland, but they provide free courses on photography, Photoshop, and different other aspects like social media marketing. So if you're all interested into learning all of these free courses, you can register in Show Academy. If you search for it in the Google, you are going to find it as well. The only issue is like if you don't pay them, you are not going to get a certificate, but you are going to get all the courses. So if you pay them, they are going to deliver you a certificate. But this is the best part of being a skilled. You don't need a certificate, you don't need knowledge, you need to be skilled, and you need skill knowledge. So in 2016, so the startup idea I came up with my friend, I'm going to explain later in the next slide. But so the road to my success was in 2017. After I came up with this startup idea, uh, I became a talent manager and event manager for Qatar, and we were organizing different programs for different companies like Vodafone, we do, then different car companies and different big events. And the company I'm currently working with, we have also partnered with FIFA 2020 World Cup for Qatar, and we also get some events to organize for them and with them as well. And we had some different motor exhibition as well. So it's a pretty big company, and I'm going to tell you in the next slide how I became a part of it. So in 2017, a new skill came up in my place was filmmaking. I started learning how I can develop my skills and become a filmmaking. And in 2019, as I mentioned earlier, I became a MUN director in 2019 by completing the certification level 2 of Directors Training Institution. So I became a certified MUN directors. And if you go to Timun Qatar's website and search for me, you can find my name there as well. So, and then I came up with the setup business idea about event management. And since we won the second place in the stock market, stock exchange competition, so I immediately went to my friends and then I told them, hey, we won the competition. And they told me that if we won the competition, they are going to open as a free trading account so that we can start trading in Qatar Stock Exchange. And so the minimum trading requirement, if you want to have a good number of money, you need to have like around 1000 USD. I mean, it's not requirement, but if you want to have a good payback, then you need to have 1000 USD. And now at that time, I didn't have 1000 USD in my pocket. So what I did is I went to three of my friends and I told them, uh, invest with me in the stock exchange through my account. So you are going to pay me 200 USD, 200 USD each of you. And I'm going to invest this money in different stocks and buy the stocks. And in 1 month, I'm going to return you double the money you have given me. And then it's all yours. And then if you want, you can continue investing with me. Or if you don't want, I will continue with myself. So they trusted me and then they invested with me. And together, after a month of very ups and downs of prices and everything, we had a huge profit from the stock exchange, and I repaid them their money they paid in a double price, and then I continued doing the whole stock market investment by my own, and it's really great. Invest long-term investment. The only problem in the stock market in Qatar, the risk is low and the return is high. But if you invest in US market, the return is high, but the risk is high. So if you invest, let's say 2000 USD, there's a chance that you are going to lose 2000 USD, but that doesn't happen in Qatar. So it was like a safer place to invest. So the business I was talking about, the startup business in 2016, the idea I came up with. So we are the young generation when we are always on phone and we always on digital media. Like for example, we are in laptop, we are in WhatsApp, Facebook. So the idea we came up with in me and my friends, uh, what can we do if we have a WhatsApp account? I mean, can we do a business with WhatsApp? Can we create something? Can we take an initiative? So we started looking for ways we can develop an idea. So we started looking at the market. We started looking at different students. So what we observed is students, they want to earn some money, right? Everyone does. And if you like go to Europe or America, you will see the students, they start working at the age of 16. I have my friends who studies with me who are Dutch and also from European countries as well. So they told me like when they turn 16, their parents are like, hey, you have to work now. And if you want to have any extra expenses, like for example, if you want to have extra shopping or if you want to enjoy some extra meal, then you have to earn your own money. So they started working. So people in Qatar, students, they also wanted to earn some money as well. So they're always asking everyone like, hey, is there any part-time job available? Now, like the part-time job is not like allowed in Qatar. So like you cannot officially work part-time, but then there is something called volunteering, and then there's something called paid volunteering. So we thought, why not we take this initiative, because that was very new at that time, and people were just developing the idea of taking recruiting students, because what happens is like, for example, you want to have a shooting, so you want to create an advertisement. So if you are looking for professional models, then you have to pay a lot of money to them. But if you can have student models or student talents, like for example singer or guitarist players, anyone, then it will be like a lot cheaper. So that also helps decreasing the price of the product, and also you get a good marketing. And it only takes a few training to train them as well, and once they are familiar with, they can continue working with you. So this idea came with us, and then we created a WhatsApp group, uh, and we started recruiting people, different people we don't even know. We just added some people, and then we told them, hey, if you guys are looking for job, or if you guys are looking for volunteering activities or any talent, then if you have any talent, then join the group and we are going to contact different companies for you. And then we started contacting different companies, and now these companies, the event management companies especially, they are managing different events. Now they need volunteers to manage their events, because like they are huge events. Now they need like 50 volunteers, they need many volunteers. And then, excuse me, and then these companies, they are also organizing different uh, advertisement even for them. For example, there's a company called Uridu, the telecommunication company, the first one who bought 5G in the whole world. They wanted to shoot an advertisement with different countries people. Like they wanted to have Malayalam from India. They want to have people who speak Hindi. They want to have people who speak Telugu. They want to have people who speak Bengali. They want to have people who speak Arabic. But they also wanted to have like a different dialect in Arabic. Like they want to have Egyptian. They want to have Jordanian. So they want separate dialect and separate countries people to speak. So we went to the different companies, and then we told them, hey, we have certain number of students who are willing to get involved in voluntary activities and share the talent. And if you guys are looking for any talent or any events, then contact us, and then we are going to provide you the students. So what happened, the companies started reaching to us, and then companies were also involved in our group. So one day what happened is like, what happens when everyone is one group, they started spamming the group. So uh, the group became spamming, like people kept on sending different tags and messages. Those are not relevant. So what happened is like one day, and the owner of a company called Solusta, she is the executive director of the company, and she is also a Georgian and Russian. She was a air hostess for Qatar Airways before. Then she left Qatar Airways, and then she started her own event and talent management company with her husband, who is a Syrian in Qatar. Uh, it's named Solusta. It's a Georgian name, which meaning idea. So she texted a recruitment post in the WhatsApp group, and then I kicked her out. I thought like she was spamming in the group, and then she texted me personally. She was saying, "Hey, I want to help your students so that they can get some jobs, and we are this company." And back then, I was just a school kid, right? So I went, and then they invited me to an interview to their office because they saw that I'm managing different events in Qatar, and um, I know different companies and different people in Qatar. So they are even management companies. So if they have me, then they are going to have a huge opportunity than the other companies. So they invited me to their office, and then I was having exams, and then I finished my exams, and then I went after the exam to their office, and then we had a small interview, and then I told them what I was doing, how I came up with the idea and everything. Then they were very impressed with me because I have the skills to communicate with people. I have the skills to recruit people for companies. I have the skills to maintain the database and everything. So they were like, "You are hired as an intern for next 6 months," and then they were like, "You don't need to even submit your CV, or you don't need to even have any qualification because you are skilled, and that is why you were hired." So for the next 6 months, I worked with them, and I organized different events with them. I managed different events and coordinated different events. And after 6 months, they offered me to become a partner, and they opened a huge new different department for volunteering, and then they made it separate department, and then they made me one of the manager, co-manager. So they were like, "We don't want you to be an employee. We want you to be working with us as a partner." So I became a partner into this middle of 2017 and 2018. So I now manage their whole department. So when we started the WhatsApp group, we only had 50 50 students, and then now we have more than 1,000 people working with us, and then we have more people coming up in our database. So we recruit for different companies, we hire different companies, and they also get paid, and we get paid as well. So that is one of the skills I was talking about, this sort of idea. And now what I hear from different students and from different people is like, what is entrepreneur, what is startup entrepreneur, what is businessman, what is startup company. So we get to hear all of this definition, like what are this and how can we define them. So like many people, if you look at their WhatsApp, if you look at their Instagram or Facebook or any social media account, you're gonna see that they just write they're entrepreneur or they're businessman. Like they have an idea, they just write entrepreneur. But we need to differentiate them. What is businessman and what is entrepreneur? So if you look at the definition, a businessman is a person involved in the business sector, in particular, someone undertaking activities for a purpose of generating cash. So if you are a businessman, you need not need to bring any new ideas, but you are going to work in the business sector so that the business can keep on growing. So let's say you are CEO of Alphabet, like Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Alphabet and Google, right? So he's a businessman because he's organizing different businesses, right? So if you are a businessman, it does not mean you have to have new ideas, but you are going to manage the existing business so that they can have a good cash flow and they can earn sales revenue. But if you're an entrepreneur, then that's a different case, because an entrepreneur is an individual who creates a new business bearing most of the risk and enjoying most of the rewards. An entrepreneur is commonly seen as an innovator. This is the word, innovator, and a source of new ideas. So if you're an entrepreneur, you need to have new ideas, you need to have new source of services. So what products are you going to deliver to the customers? What new ideas you can come up with? For example, back in 2018, when there was a recession happening, people came up with the Slack, the idea, the application Slack. It was developed in 2008, and then people came up with Uber and different other setup ideas. So those are entrepreneurs because they came up with new service and new products. They see what we are demanding and how they can supply to us. So, and then what is a startup? So the startup is a young company founded by one or more entrepreneurs to develop a unique product or service and bring it to market with initial funding from founders or their families and friends. So if you are an entrepreneur, if you think you have a new idea and now you want to develop the idea, but you are not a business person, you don't have, like, for example, you don't have millions of bucks, right? But you have an idea and you want to start that idea. So your company will be known as startup. And if you want to found it by with many other entrepreneurs, you can do so. And you can have the initial funding from incubator or founders or friends and families. So incubators is different thing, which I'm not going to explain here, but incubator is what helps you develop your business idea and helps you out. And there's incubator available in many countries as well. So these are the definition for a startup, businessman, and entrepreneur. Now I have a task for you, an activity. So the activity is, imagine you are an entrepreneur right now, because this workshop is based on how we can become an entrepreneur, not how we can become a business person. We don't want to become a business person. We want to become the next entrepreneur because of the coronavirus. Right now, everything is digital. You need to be skilled, you need to be digital, and you need to bring something up. You need to think about something, how you can develop, how you can take the advantage of this situation, and you can become the next entrepreneur. So this activity, write down the chat. So the question is, on the left hand side, you can see there's the banana, pairs of banana, and banana price is $3.50. Now, as an entrepreneur, you want to increase the price. So my question to you is, how you are going to increase the price, what price are you going to increase, and why are you going to increase? So if you can have, you have like 2 minutes, think about it and write on the chat why you want to increase the price, how you're going to increase the price, and what price should be the new price, and how you're going to do that. So open the chat and write down your answers, and I will be checking the chat as well. Sorry. But I'm not sure if I can open the chat. Okay. So I got one answer from Muzaffar. It's packaged at 550. Okay. Any other answer? 4, to reduce fixed cost. Place yourself in a rich locality, make chips of it, and then sell it for 6. Prashant. The new price will be 7. I got this answer by, okay. I would only increase the price only if there are many sales, maybe add 50% more. Okay, sell it as a dessert for 8. Okay. Anyone else? Keep going, keep your idea generating. Think like an entrepreneur. What an entrepreneur is going to do and what a business person is going to do. Here is the difference between an entrepreneur and a business person. Both of them think differently, and both of them comes up with different ideas. All right, so let's move on. And yeah, congratulations guys who thought something different. So let's move on. And someone saw the next slide as well. Okay, so here's a difference between entrepreneur and a businessman. So the price of the banana was $3.50, and if you're a businessman, you are going to increase $1. So you are going to make it $4.50, and you're going to have a profit, a huge profit, because you are not only selling one banana, but you are selling hundreds of banana throughout the whole month. So 450 times, like, let's say 500 times 30 days. So it's huge amount of profit, right? But if you are an entrepreneur, you are going to think out of the box. You are going to think how you can increase the price and how you're going to introduce a new product, a new service. So in this case, it's a new product. So you come up with a banana milkshake. It's just an example. You can bring something else. Like, for example, in Netherlands, what I saw, they came up with banana bread. So, you know, many times the bananas, they become rotten or they become black, and people don't eat those bananas. And also some of the bananas, they start getting rotten in the shelf in the supermarket because no one buys them. So what they do is they buy the whole bananas and then they start making banana bread. So they put the banana on the bread and then they develop the new product and they start selling it. So this is what makes an entrepreneur different than a businessman. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to see how what is lacking in today's market, what is the demand we are looking for. And then if you have the demand, then you are going to produce something new, in this case a banana milkshake, and then you are selling it for 650, and you are earning twice more than the business person. So that's a huge profit for you as an entrepreneur. And how you're going to do that? So here we are going to see the demand and supply, but I'm not going to go in depth with demand and supply because it's the economics, and you guys are, if you are studying business, you are familiar with it. If you're not studying business, it's not to worry. So it's just, you need to figure out what is the demand and what is the supply. For example, if there is there any demand for what you are trying to produce, or is there any supply you can accommodate? So here we are not going to see the finance part. We are going to see your skill part, because the workshop is based on skill, right? So my question to you all is, what skills do you have? If you can write on the chat, like what soft skill you have. Like, for example, do you have any uh, uh, communication skills? Do you have any presentation skills? Do you have any programming language skills? Do you have any marketing skills? So programming language, a new language, those are hard skills, and soft skills are presentation, communications, texting. These are soft skills. So if you can write down below on the chat, like what skills do you have? Robotics and Python, that's amazing. You have hard skills. Accounting, you have great. Computing skills. Basic animation, great mechanics, that's amazing. You guys all are from science. That's great. That's wonderful. Uh, Great. Yeah, that's amazing. So here, the finance is not required, because as I said, when I started my own initiative through WhatsApp, I didn't have finance, right? When I started investing, I didn't have finance. I took money from someone else, my friends, and then we invested together. And for the WhatsApp initiative, we did not have any finance. It was zero finance, but we earned a lot of money out of it, and we still do. But there was no investment at all. It was just a free initiative, and then we were hired based on our skills. So since you guys now have skills, you guys have soft skills and hard skills, let's see how you can utilize them. So yeah, now you have identified your skills, or if you still didn't identify your skills, so here's a way you can identify. It's called SWOT analysis, which we regularly do. If you study business in future, or if you work in a company or an organization, you will see SWOT analysis every day, or most of the time, when you have to prepare the strength of the company, the weakness of the company, the opportunities the companies have, the threat. So SWOT is also applicable on you as well. So what is your strength? Like, what are you good at? Are you good at programming? Okay, what program are you good at? Are you good at Java, or are you good at C++, Python? Are you good at English language, or are you good at Spanish language? And then what are your weaknesses? Like, what do you need to improve? For example, do you wake up late? So you need to improve your time management skills. So when you improve something, when you improve the weakness, it becomes your strength. And then you have to find out the opportunities you have, like what opportunities can you achieve more, or what are your goals? So let's say the opportunity you have, for example, after the COVID-19, like right now you came up with an idea, and the opportunity is, due to the coronavirus, you can now have a platform in the digital marketing, or you can come up with a new initiative in the COVID-19 that will make you more successful, right? These are the opportunities. So COVID-19 might be a threat to everyone. Obviously, it is a threat to everyone, but it is also an opportunity if you look at the digital aspects, how the whole world went digital, right? Before, nobody thought of having lectures in online, right? No one had thought about taking exams online, but right now everyone is online. So this is an opportunity for you to develop something. If you know programming, then develop an application, or if you have any other skills, keep developing it. Then the threats, like what obstacles are you facing? So to get to your goals, are there any obstacle? Like, for example, like are there any competitors for you? Or do you not have any computers to work with? Do you not have any mobile phone to work with? So think about your threats, and think about how you can overcome your threats. When you think about, and when you get the solutions, how you can overcome the threats, they become your opportunity, because now you know the answer, that yeah, those are my opportunities. And now when you have the opportunities, turn them into a strength, work towards that. So one thing you need to remember is strength and weakness are internal. So what is matter to you, but opportunities and threats are external. That means they are not directly related to you. For example, COVID-19 is not directly related to you. That is a different there's a disease that is being harmed by different by the whole, it's a pandemic, right? So it's not directly related to you, but for example, time management skills, it's directly related to you. If you are not following the time, you are lacking behind, so that's a weakness for you. So opportunities and threats, they are external, so you have to find out what external factors are influencing you in making your decisions or making your skill. When you identify your SWOT, then you have to move next to the canvas. It's called business model canvas. And this is where you will start your own business. And this is where you are going to develop your business idea. And this is what we did in back in 2018. We had a competition by Google and Techstar. So it was called Google Weekend Startup. Sorry, Startup Weekend by Google and Techstar. So we had 54 hours. And within 54 hours, we had to develop a whole business idea. And we had to come up with a good solutions, how we can mitigate the issues going on. And the winner, they all got around 300,000 Qatar riyal, which is around like 100,000 USD, most probably. So they went through incubator, and then now they have a huge business developed. So like, for example, what are you going to do when you have your business idea ready? For example, your business idea is like, you are a photographer, so you want to continue photography. So with your skills, you are going to earn a lot. So you need to find your customer segment. So list top 3 segments. Now, for example, who are you going to be your customers? Are you going to be a wedding photographer, or are you going to be an event photographer, or are you going to be a photographer for a business environment, for modeling or something like that? So you have to find out who are your customers target. Now, these companies are your customers, because you are providing a service to the company. So the company become your customer, or if you want to provide service to individual, then those individuals are your customers. So you have to identify who are your customers. And then the value proposition, this is very important. Why should we value your company? So what products and services are you providing, and what makes it unique? For example, if you look at Unilever, if you look at Apple, so what is Apple's value proposition? Like, they are very, very expensive, but do they have lifestyles? No. Every time they come up with a new phone, like iPhone 11, iPhone 12, which is coming up in this year or next year, it's more money. It's like more than 1,000 USD, right? But people are still buying it because their value proposition, their product is unique, and that's why they're buying it. So you need to identify what makes your product unique and why people should trust in your brand. And then you need to find out the revenue stream. So for example, if I give an example, like example of Immune Impact, because I'm a head of global communication. So who are our customers here? The students, obviously, but we are NGO. So this also works for an NGO. We are not taking any money, and we are not providing any money, but we need to have a segment, right? So our segment are middle school and high school students. So if you're a high school student, if you're a middle school student, then you can join our program. So that is our customer segment. And what is our value proposition? You all know we are unique, and the Ambient Impact Global Summit is the first ever global summit in the world, and we have more than 1,700 participants from more than 100 countries. That is what makes Ambient Impact Global Summit special and unique, and no one has ever done that before today and these 3 days. So these are our value proposition. Now, if you look at the revenue stream, you need to know how you're going to get the money from. Like, are you going to earn money by selling merchandise product, or are you, if you are an NGO, then are you going to get money from your fundraising? So you need to find out how you're going to get the revenue, whether the revenue is for your day-to-day expenses, or whether the revenue is to earn some profit. So you need to figure that out. And the channel of communication. So how are you going to communicate with the channel? With the customer segment. So for us, for example, we use the social media. So we use social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, to contact with different students and different partners as well. So you need to figure out who are your channel. And if you have a manufacturing company, then you need to also find out how the channel of distribution is going to work. Like, how are you going to get your products and services from different companies? So you need to figure out what this channel is. And then comes the customer relationship. Like, how do you maintain a customer relationship? For example, are you sending a newsletter every month, or are you sending a gift during their birthday? There are different companies and actually different hotels who actually send a birthday gift. or Valentine gifts to their customers because they are loyal customers. They keep on going to their hotels and their places and buy their brand. So how well are you maintaining your relationship with the customers? In this case, you can also maintain relationship with your friends and communities as well, because they could be your customers as well. And then you have the key activities which you need to figure out, like how are you going to run your business. So what activities you have. For example, we have 4 different programs. We have uh, online MUN, we have junior online MUN, then we have MUN at home, and then we have MUN and CASA, right? So we have 4 global programs, and now we have MUN Impact Global Summit as well. So we have 5 programs and 5 key activities which we do always in regards to MUN Impact. And then you need to find out the resources. So for example, we have mentors, we have presenters, we have students. So you need to find out who are your knowledge and who are your people going to run your business. And then you need to find out the key partners. Like, for example, do you have any collaborators? Do you have any partnerships? Do you have any supporters? So you need to find out who are your key partners. For example, we have partners from UN, or we have partnership with different schools in terms of club partnership or conference partnership. So you need to find out who are your partners are. And the cost structure, like how much money do you need to spend to keep your business running? For example, do you need a fixed rent, or do you need any additional rent to keep your business running? So if you thought of a business, if you find out your um, strength, if you know what the demand are in the community. So if you're a student, if you're good at mathematics, if you're good at physiology, psychology, or if you're good at engineering, or even good at photography or teaching, then use those knowledge, make it good. For example, you are good at history in your class, but then people are not good at history. So you can come up with the idea that you want to teach history. Like this, what we did in our university in January. So we had exams, finance exams, and then students of first year and second year, they wanted to have extra classes. So we contacted with fourth year students who already knows the finance and then who already passed all of the exams. So we told them, hey, you teach the students additionally, and then you are going to get paid from the school. So he works at the school, and I work at the school as a photographer, so the school pays me. So if you have any skills, go to your school and say, hey, you have this event coming up, you have the graduation project coming up, let me be the photographer, or let me be the anchor, or let me be the master of ceremonies, and then you pay me. So you have to figure out how you're going to get the money from, and who are going to give you the money, and why they should give you the money. So you need to figure that out. And once you figured that out, it's easy for you to start your own business. So when you figure that out, and when you start your own business, create social media account, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Snapchat if you want, and then make good promotional posters, and then design a website. There are a lot of free websites. If you go to Google site, if you go to Blogspot, if you go to Wixsite, then there are a lot of free websites which you can build, and then reach out to friends and people and acquaintances. If you meet someone, then reach out to them, tell them your business idea, tell them why they should support you, and tell them to share your posters and everything, and then you have your business ready to run and roll. So this workshop was based on SG4 quality education 4.4, which is like substantially increase the number of youth and adults who have relevant skills, including technical and vocational skills for employment, decent jobs, and entrepreneurship. Now you need to understand that people are not going to see whether you have education or not. People are going to see whether you have skills, whether you can do it or not. Even if you have education and then you apply for a job when you graduate, people are going to see that both the applicants have the same qualification, or someone has different skills. If you have skills, that is going to be more important than having a degree, because skills is very important and it's very hard to learn. So if you can master your skills, everything is easy for you. Well, before I end the presentation, I would like to show you a video. It's like 4 minutes. Let me share the screen. All right.
What does it mean to be an entrepreneur? In a world of inaction, over-promising and under-delivering, every second, man seems to claim himself an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is someone that would never call himself an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is someone that is happy to work while all others are out partying. An entrepreneur's drug is success. He is addicted to success. And finally, the entrepreneur knows one simple fact. I will make it, maybe not immediately, but absolutely and definitely.
You have to hustle. You have to think outside of the box to make things happen when it seems impossibly difficult for anything to happen. To continue to get up off of the canvas when you are beaten down relentlessly.
Win or learn. I never lose. I will succeed, not immediately, but absolutely and definitely. I will take action when others hesitate. I will think big when others don't. I will sacrifice when others won't. I will dare to dream of greatness when others fear it. I will outwork my competition day and night. I am the captain of my fate, the master of my soul, the boss of my dreams, the king of my goals.
You have to be a leader, to be unique, to be hungry always and never satisfied. Proud, but never satisfied. To be followed by the competition, to take criticism and negativity and use it to build your greatness, to survive the storms and the tough moments, to be humble in the good times. It is sacrificing your today for a better tomorrow. It is living a few years of your life like others won't, so that you can spend the rest of your life like others can. That sacrifice, the dedication, the commitment, the discipline. Only rare human beings have these qualities. Only the very best among us. Then there's failure. Because we all know that it is coming, it is human nature. I mean, find me a successful human that has never failed. You can't, they don't exist. The only difference between the extremely successful among us in any field and the unknown, the only difference, the successful guy didn't give up. He found a way when there seemed to be no way. The other guy, he threw in the towel. Failure is simply learning another way not to do something. There are great lessons in failure.
When it comes to success, there is rarely ever a time when luck comes into play.
Hard work, however, always comes into play. There is no greater satisfaction in life than that of hard work paying off. No greater satisfaction than knowing you are self-made. Take action while all others are sitting on their hands. The great difference between the somebodies and the nobodies very often only comes down to who is willing to take action. Who is...
Okay, so yeah, due to the time constraint, so I had to cut the 20 seconds. And just a minute. Yeah, so wait. Shoot. All right, so just a minute. Yeah, great. So if you want to reach out to me for any questions, then you can send me an email at mostafa@immunimpact.org, or you can find me on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook at IBX Mostafa, and I'll be happy to answer all your questions. And thank you all for joining the session. It was a pleasure to host, to be a presenter in this global summit, and keep following us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mostafa, for a very interesting session. I think everybody learned a lot there. Thank you for your enthusiasm. I'm really sorry, because of the time constraints, I am going to have to shut this down straight away to move into the next session. But as Mostafa said, you can contact him on social media or through MUN Impact if you have any comments or questions for him. Okay, everybody. Well, I hope you enjoy your last day here at the summit, and please use our feedback form that was dropped in the chat earlier to let us know how we can do better for the next summit. Bye, everyone.